Let's take a look at this Reeves drive, or this Gerbing rotocone as it may be. The variable pulley on the J180 was a Gerbing rotocone, and this one is very similar in design, so I assume it's a rotocone also. What I don't understand yet is how this is held together. On the J180, this could be compressed downward, and there's a pin holding a cap on that retained the spring. This one, it looks like there's threads on here, so this must be a brass threaded nut or something, and it looks like it's threaded on there. I don't want to unscrew that and have it come flying off, so I need to figure out a way to compress this while I'm unscrewing that. Okay, I have my revised compression donuts on here, and I've been loosening these screws ever so slightly, and then unscrewing the center cone a little bit, and then unscrewing these a little bit more. Okay, it looks like they're completely loose, those threads now. This has plenty of old grease in it. In some ways, this is a lot simpler than the one on the J180. It does not have a mechanism to sync or center the two cones to each other as they expand and contract. So I'm just going to pull this off. There is a key that keeps the two halves aligned. Well, other than this weird cap that's made out of a copper tubing, I don't really see anything wrong with it. I'm going to clean it up and we'll come back and do something with it. I don't know if you recall from disassembly, but this pillar block was added on by somebody, and it was supporting the outboard end of the Reeves drive. I'm going to go ahead and replace the pillar block, but I need to salvage this shaft. I've largely decided that I'm going to replace this brass and copper spring guard. I've got some steel pipe here that I'm going to use to make a new spring cover. It will be capped off with a piece of steel that I'll mill out and weld to the top of the tube. And instead of threading on, it will be just a slip fit over these threads. And then I will retain it with this split nut, or excuse me, this split collar, and I will thread this split collar to work on these threads here. I'll thread it down. It's got a set screw so I can lock it in place. So doing that allows me to do a few things. One, it gets rid of this cobbled together looking spring cover. Two, it'll let me have a spring cover that's more properly sized. Third, the new spring cover will be floating, so it will float a little bit, and it will be held by spring pressure upwards against this threaded split collar. I've got the cap of the spring cover roughed out, and now I'm boring the center to fit the Reeves drive stem. So here I'm just cleaning up the weld with a series of chamfers. Well, the next task for this rotocone Reeves drive is I'm going to make a sleeve that affixes to this boss right here and covers up the lower portion of this inner sleeve and covers up the exposed spring. So here I'm just trimming up the ends of the tube. Okay, now that I've got this trued up, I'm going to bore out this interior to fit this boss here. I've got the bottom end of this sleeve turned to fit over that hub. And so the next thing I want to do is turn the inside to fit the upper sleeve. I've turned an aluminum disc to just fit inside here so that I can clamp it in the 3-jaw chuck pretty tightly without it collapsing the tube. First pass. I didn't get any footage, but this is my setup for turning the outside of the sleeve to diameter. Before I assemble and paint this Reeves drive, I want to go ahead and get rid of some residual rust that's still on there. I'm still using this homemade solution. It seems to be working pretty well. I need to tap these set screws on this lower flange. Well, these are all the parts of the Reeves drive, including 2 new shrouds. So hopefully we'll put them together just one last time.